All right, this one is going to sting a little bit, but it needs to be said. Your org chart is probably lying to you. I mean, not maliciously, but if you're running a growing company, I'd bet good money that the structure you have, all those neat little boxes and reporting lines, bears very little resemblance to how work actually gets done. And here's the kicker, this is not just an academic problem. It's just costing you real money. I mean, real time, quite possibly your sanity. What happens is this, your strategic initiatives, the stuff that actually matters, start bouncing around your organization like a pinball. They hit one department, they get deflected to another, they maybe ping off a third, and eventually they either die a slow death or they take 3 times longer than they should. Decision making becomes this torturous process where nobody's quite sure who's meant to make the call. And accountability, well, that becomes this wonderful game of pass the parcel where everybody has a perfectly reasonable explanation for why the delay is not their fault. And that's what I call organizational drag. It's just like actual drag, it slows everything down. Your competitors are eating your lunch while you're stuck in committee meetings trying to figure out whose job it is to make a decision. Now, why does this happen? Well, most org charts are historical artifacts. They reflect who you hired when and what made sense 3 years ago, or to be honest, what kept certain people happy during the last reshuffle. But here's the thing, your business has evolved, your strategy has evolved, your customers' needs have evolved, and somehow your org structure is still optimized for problems you solved in 2019. So what do you do about this? Well, for one thing, we need to align your structure with how value actually flows through your organization. How it really works when your best people are trying to get stuff done. This is not about blowing everything up and starting from scratch. This is about understanding the gap between reality and your official structure, and then making targeted adjustments, small ones, that remove friction from your most important work. So let's walk through exactly how to do this. We'll expand our action plan here. First is that you need to map your actual workflows. And I mean actual workflows, not theoretical ones. You want to interview your cross-functional teams, the people who actually deliver stuff, and get them to walk through how work really happens. And don't ask them about the official process. Ask them, when you need to deliver something important, what actually happens? Where do things slow down? Which handoffs work smoothly, and which ones feel like throwing documents over a wall? You want the unvarnished truth here, because until you understand how work really flows, you can't fix the structure that's meant to support it. Now, step 2. Put your reality map next to your official org chart, and this is where it gets interesting, and maybe a bit painful. You'll probably see initiatives that have to cross 5 different departments just to get approved. You'll spot decision points that require coordination between teams that barely talk to each other. And you may even find places where accountability is so distributed that nobody actually owns the outcome. Now create a visual of these mismatches. Highlight the high friction zones, places where work consistently gets stuck or duplicated or passed around. This becomes your diagnostic tool. Step 3, focus on your strategic gaps and bottlenecks. Look specifically for where your most important initiatives lack a clear owner. If your biggest strategic priority doesn't have an obvious team and leader, that's not just a gap, that's a prediction of future frustration. So flag where handoffs consistently cause coordination breakdowns. These are your highest impact fix areas. And then step 4, draft alternative structures around value flow, not reporting convenience. This might mean creating cross-functional pods for major initiatives. It might be establishing clear product or customer-focused teams. Sometimes it's as simple as clarifying decision rights so people know who can actually make the call. The key word here is small. Don't try to reorganize the entire company. Make targeted shifts that reduce friction for your most important work. Think pods, squads, tiger teams, whatever gets the right people working together with clear ownership. And then step 5, test your new structure with a pilot initiative before you roll it out, and then pick one important project and run it through your proposed new structure. See what works, what doesn't, what new problems emerge, and use this as a learning lab. Then, and this is crucial, socialize your findings with senior leaders and get input from the teams who will be affected. Share the data about workflow friction and structural mismatches. People are way more likely to embrace changes that they help design, so make sure you involve them. Look, your competition isn't just trying to build better products. They're trying to build organizations that can execute faster and more effectively than yours. So don't let an outdated org chart be the thing that holds you back. Fix the structure and then watch everything else start flowing.